Hi everybody, it's Dr. Dan here at the Balancing Center, and today I'm going to address a little bit about mental health and our care here at the office. Now, the mind is the place where we make choices, beliefs, and judgments. We take the unconscious drives to survive, to express ourselves, to be authentic, and then the mind has to make a choice. And like everything else in this creation, it's a binary thing. And when we're looking at your legs and we're muscle testing your arms and we're deciding where to go and what to do, we're looking for responses to a query of yes and no choices and options. So on the mental level, if there's a belief or a judgment that's a stuck place, that can keep the body from moving, and some place is going to be locked. Now, sometimes we have to physically unlock that, and sometimes we'll use points around the body that address the meridians, which is how energy flows. Now, Eastern medicine, the acupuncture system uses meridians: air, earth, water, fire, and each one of them have a certain nature to that. So if somebody's having a recurrent misalignment in their spine, and we already have the body balanced, we're getting it moving, we're adjusting parts that seem to be withholding, we use the muscle response testing or the leg check to see if it's coming from an energetic level, the mind, the emotion, the imagination, the subconscious. And without getting into the details, if it goes to that there's something that's stuck, that's a position, a belief, or a judgment, then we can adjust it over and over and over again, and it doesn't necessarily move. So one of the reasons we get relief and we make progress with people in ways that sometimes other practices or strategies don't work is because if we hit this block, we look for like which circuit breaker. So if the lights are out in the back bathroom and bedroom, you go to the circuit breaker and you turn the fuse back on. Now, depending on which circuit is blown, once in a while, Dr. Bennett or I will bring up a principle or like, is there something that you're angry about? Is there something that you're overwhelmed about? Is there something that you're frustrated about? And without getting into the details of it, as we start to release the pattern and then we adjust the body and get the movement back in to engage itself so that there's resource and agency and adaptability. We talk about agency, adaptability, and resource. We talk about leverage, connection, and resource. So if the body is locked up, if somebody's in a position and they are stuck in a point or a place, we can adjust and adjust and adjust, and sometimes that's enough just to get them out of it because they may have actually worked themselves through it before, and all that's left is the physical part. So we don't always go looking into people's business when they have a misalignment. We check the body first. We check that if it's on the physical level and we work on it there. We always check the upper cervical because the body has to be adaptable from there because if the body's locked out of position, it's going to go into a defense. Now, looking at it from that perspective, if the body has already gone into a defense about gravity and it's stuck in that position because it has to keep holding you together, it could affect your mind, your emotions, your imaginations, your subconscious, your unconscious. So it's not about the details of the mental or the aspects of the emotional. But if somebody comes in to see me and they have the same fuses blown all the time, then I'll ask them about, is there something that's been frustrating in your life? Is there something that's causing you to be angry? And without getting into the details, as we hold points, as you've been here before, we tend to hold points. We connect that back to the nervous system. The nervous system looks at the response relative to the demand and relative to the experience and relative to the present. So the other thing we do here at the Balancing Center is bring your body back to a present time response to the world. We check to make sure that the body is working right and the structure. We make sure that the body is in alignment because if it's out of alignment, as it gets back to center, there's going to be a locking which could cause frustration, we start to look in our lives for why do I feel frustrated, and there's always somebody there to pick up the gauntlet. But if your body's locked up and the frustration is coming from the inside, we don't want to keep projecting it on other people or other events or places or things. So keeping your body balanced, number one, gives you the best option to get better. Keeping it freed up and moving with the foundational movement practices and the adjustments. Getting checked on a regular basis to make sure there isn't one of these neuro-emotional complexes or mind-body overrides that are causing your body to lock in. Now, as I mentioned, you can spot an angry person walking down the street because they're stuck in that emotion. If we use points, breath, adjustments, stimulation, or talking to get those processes freed up and moving again, then a lot of times people find a place to have resolution in their life and in their health and in their families. And so that's just a look at how we look at things. The unconscious drives the mind, which directs the emotions, which add energy, the imagination, which creates our pictures. And if somebody has the same misalignment or the same stuck place over and over again, we actually go and look for ways to help energetically reset the body, reboot the system so that it can function in the way it was designed, which is whole, healthy, and perfect.